Well, welcome to the channel. I'm on the road. I haven't got any light. It'll sort of flash and whatnot with the oncoming traffic. This is Reverend Dr. Jason W. Morrison, theologist in New South Wales, Australia. Thank you for joining me. I'm not a preacher or a theologist anymore. I haven't been for years. The call went off my life and I heard that and I felt that. And I got out of the ministry because I didn't think I'd be effective. But I've got years and years of experience and knowledge that I want to share with people and help people. I still help people, particularly with relationships and all other stuff. So you're going along in the relationship and you really want it to work. Your partner's withdrawing. You've tried to continue at the pace it was going at, which you would regard to be normal. It's not a DNA relationship, which means it's not the relationship in which you had the children with the person. It's more of a older person's relationship. You're wondering what the withdrawal means. You're feeling the pain. The person's not listening to you about a lack of communication and things not feeling right, things not going the way that you'd like. You notice that the person's got some habits and you've worked in with that. You've tried to go along with that. It could be religion, it could be booze, it could be weed, it could be anything. These days there's so many things to choose from. It could be texting on the phone, it could be emotional affairs. A lot of people are feeding on social media validation now, and it's destroying their relationships and themselves as well. There's a lot of addictions outside the usual ones of alcohol and weed and all that other stuff as well. And you're asking and wondering to yourself, what is actually going on here? You genuinely want to have a relationship. You've approached it the best way that you know how, with honesty and integrity and with fun and with strength. There's definitely no complaints that you know of coming towards you. But you've had some trouble with some family members and you thought that might have subsided, given the time that you've spent with the person that you're with and the way in which you've conducted yourself, which is, to your knowledge, caring and sharing, give, take, care and share. But nothing's improved. As a matter of fact, things are going backwards. And you feel blindsided. You're wondering why. What is this big space? What does it mean? Why is there this big gap? Why won't this person be more inclusive? And you're running on blind faith. It's not healthy for you. Nobody seems to know what's going through the other person's mind. You brought it to the attention of some friends and you just want unbiased advice. You want to keep the relationship, but it's just not in a healthy position. And you're trying to work out why this person's flinching at putting you in a position that's validated in their life. Well, let me tell you from experience, there's a number of things that could be going on here. The children one's a normal one. Adult children are always going to try and assassinate a step parent or a partner of a parent that's not DNA. That's just normal. And if the parent doesn't realize that you're with, then you've got big trouble on your hands, because they'll just let these people run riot. And that's a sign of covert emotional incest as well. You'll never beat covert emotional incest. learn what it is, learn how it works, and just get out. I've had enough experience with it now to know that you just let them go, let them eat each other alive before they eat you alive. But there could also be some other things going on. There could be outside emotional affairs going on with that person. That's why they're keeping space. There's obviously, and this is where you've let yourself down, you haven't stuck by your standards. You've let this person push you to the side and come as it suits them. And they're continuing to do that. And you're trying to reconcile all this with yourself, and you're starting to get mentally sick because it's not adding up in your mind. Then something happens. You notice the phone's getting put down face first. You notice they look at their phone when you're not, when you're in the next room or whatever. And you start to get a sense that there's more going on than what meets the eye. Something in your spirit's starting to tell you that there could be somebody on the outside of the relationship that's now playing a part in the trouble. There could be more to what's going on than what you're getting told. You notice the person's a little bit more edgy. You know they're smoking more, possibly drinking more. You notice that they're coming over more influenced by their habits. And this is all happening really quick. And you're thinking that the relationship's growing. You're starting to do more together at your place. And you're confused. You're confused about where this is all going, because on the one hand you feel like everything's moving forward, then on the other hand the person has got their habits sabotaging their presence when they come over. You've asked them to come over and present yourself as somebody that, you know, is, you know, presenting themselves as somebody that's not pissed or stoned or this kind of thing. And yet they're doing the opposite. You're becoming very confused. You get a sense that there's somebody somewhere outside the relationship that's now infiltrating emotionally into their life, and they're allowing it. And you feel something just is not right. Something is definitely just not right. And you know you're right. So you're going along with the person's unresolved. You know the unresolved is bearing down on that person, and it's probably working that person against you. That's how it works. Unresolved issues in a relationship will work the person that needs to resolve the issues against you. It'll work them against you. They'll self-soothe outside the relationship. Instead of using the unresolved as a form of building intimacy through resolve, they pull back and use the unresolved as a way of undermining the relationship and find somewhere else to soothe, self-soothe. You have to be aware of this, and you should be aware of this, that there's something going on outside the relationship that just should not be going on, and it's based on the unresolved. I see, unresolved, while it's an enemy to the relationship, if you watch it carefully within the relationship, it's your best friend. It'll tell you exactly where the other person's at. So you're watching this person to begin to deteriorate psychologically. They're not communicating at all by text, phone or anything, yet they're looking at their phone more when they think you're not present. The phone's pinging and ringing, and apparently it's just some strange person. Things just aren't adding up, and you're starting to feel something's going to go beyond the unresolved into the usual catastrophic, irresponsible relationship wreckage form of behavior. People do this all the time. That's why you've got to resolve the issues, or the issues will resolve you. It happens every day. So the whole thing comes to a head. But it comes to a head unexpectedly. You're battling along. You're thinking to yourself, what's wrong with this fucking person? Like, honestly. Why are they coming over pissed? Why are they coming over stoned? Why aren't they in? I'll tell you why. There's more going on than what you're aware of. And you're picking it up in the spirit. And they're showing you by their behavior. That's disrespectful, right? If somebody's coming over pissed or stoned, or that's just out and out disrespectful. That means there's more going on than what you know about. You need to listen to what I'm telling you. You're dealing with a broken, cunning, conniving person. You have to back yourself and go, there's just more, this is just happening too blatantly. That's what these people do. They become too cocky. They think you can't tell. And then something will come to a head and they'll break. Oh, it's your fault. What, beg your pardon? I've never heard this version of events before. It's been 12 months. You've been waiting for resolve. And now all of a sudden it's your fault. I can tell you right now, viewers, there's somebody else on the outside that's infiltrated your relationship, and they have let them. You're being betrayed. Once you're starting to be blamed for something that you haven't done, you know you haven't done, you're just caught up in the infantile, destructive behavior of a family member that wants you out, and now you're getting the blame from the person who's supposed to be your ally. I'm telling you, there's more going on than what you know about, and you have to back yourself and go, goodbye. Tell them to fuck off. These people are cunning and clever. They're conniving and they don't care. They can't manage unresolved. They cannot manage it. They don't know what to do with it. They'll go straight into self-sabotage. They'll try and sabotage you and punish you for trying to make them bring resolve. They don't want you to force them into resolve. Resolve's too confronting for them. They haven't got the maturity or the character. So their micro-incremental dark triad destructive forms of character kick in. They don't even know it's kicked in. They're just going with the spirit of this world, the powers and principalities of darkness. And they think you're blind. You have to understand what I'm telling you. You have to understand that even in a relationship where everybody's supposed to be getting on dandy, you have no idea what you're up against with these people. They don't trust themselves. How are they going to trust you? They don't trust the people in their families. How are they going to trust you? It's a lose-lose situation. You're never going to win. You have to recognize when somebody's breaking down, when somebody's about to ruin the relationship and try and ruin you. They're not aware. They're not self-aware. They're not aware of you. They're not aware of the relationship. They're only aware of their lust and desire. And the unresolved is forcing them through their lust and desire to go outside the relationship and start to fucking have an affair, be it emotional or physical. It's one or the other, but it's going down, and it's going down fast. And you have to call it, you have to have the guts to call it for what it is, man or woman, and say, see ya, get out, get your shit, and go. Because your spirit's telling you that something is not right. It's beyond what this person's revealing. That's what the Holy Spirit's for. He is showing you that there's something critically wrong gonna happen. He's forewarning you in your spirit and your soul, and you have to back it. You have to back it, even if you lose. Things aren't right anyway. The person's not fixing anything. They can't fix themselves. They ain't gonna fix resolve. They've got children that are out of control. They're out of control with their children. They've passed all authority over to the children. They're like infantile people themselves. Their children know all about their love life, who they've had sex with, how it happened, where it happened, and what's going on. There's no boundaries at all, man. You are in a very dangerous situation, man or woman. They don't trust themselves. They don't trust you. They don't care about hurting themselves. And they definitely don't fucking care about hurting you. And some of you people listening to this, I'm telling you, in the name of the Lord, you need to wake up and get some strength and get some power and might and have a sound mind and tell these people to go. They're deceiving you, they're using you, they're betraying you. They know they are. Why don't you just admit it to yourself? They're psychologically in bed with their children and their family members and their flying monkeys. They're ripping you to bits behind your back. Come on. They're not communicating. They're not saying anything. They're definitely not fixing anything. Can't you see? The value is not there for you. They're using you. They're trying to condition you to this pathetic, demonic, dysfunctional way of having a relationship. Come on. They're hiding shit from you left, right, and center. You don't know half about what's going on in this person's life. They're parading around behind your back. They're sneaking around behind your back. They're undermining you. They're backbiting you. They're tattletaling you. They're smear campaigning you. They'll take any opportunity they can get the fuck away from you. And it will happen. It will happen. It's just a matter of time. How long can you hang on for? Long enough for them to turn up one day or get caught being fucked by somebody else? Because that's where it's headed. Don't kid yourself. Open your eyes. Save yourself. SOS. Save our souls. It's not all that bad. You were doing fine before they come along. Come on. You're in with the wrong crowd. They don't think like you do. They don't have the spirit that you do. They're self-destructive. They're emotionally in bed with each other. You don't belong. They've made that clear. And you're putting up with that shit. What are you trying to prove? If the person isn't bringing you into the fold. They don't want you there. They're using you. Open your eyes. Just open your eyes and be set free. Let them go back to what they were before you come along. You go back to what you were before they come along. You don't have to give yourself a life sentence. Don't let your faithfulness and loyalty blind you from the way you're being treated. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't. Too many of you are being treated like fools, clowns. While these people are bouncing around behind your back, enjoying themselves, possibly emotionally with other people and physically, for all you know. They want their cake and eat it too at your expense. Come on. Come on. Get some self-worth. There's nothing you can do to have a proper relationship with these people. They don't want one. The more stable it gets, the more bored they get. That's how destructive people work. They say they want peace. They don't want peace. They only want a piece of you. That's the only piece they want, is the piece of you they can get. After that, they don't fucking want to know you. Face the truth. Face the reality. You're not as important as you think. You're just not. Can't you tell by the way they're treating you? Come on. Get some value for yourself, really, honestly. You're a convenience. You're a piece of meat. That's all you are. Honestly, that's all you are. No, they're not going to tell you that, but you've got to judge a tree by its fruit. Look at the fruit. And as soon as you can confront the issue with some power, they're going to sell you down the drain. They're going to blame you for all the trouble. Come on. All you've done is welcome them in open arms to your whole life. You know, they wonder why the relationship's going down the tubes. They're not reciprocal. They don't reciprocate. And honestly, when you think about the Bible, Jesus used communion as a way of remembering him. Okay? When you're not sure about someone, don't eat their fucking food. Don't eat their food. Because it's a way of them psychologically, spiritually, making you remember them while they're deliberately not present. Remember this. Jesus said, eat this in remembrance of me. He done that for a reason. Food has a tremendous impact on the person that you eat with. I know the Brethren. There's a cult organisation called the Brethren, and I do their work. Well, I used to do their work, their brickwork. And I was in deep with them, okay? You can't eat with the Brethren. They're no different to you and I, but they will not eat with you. I don't know, how all that works, but what I do know is there is definitely a way in which these evil people use their food, right? And they don't even know they're doing it, to make you remember them while they're deliberately not in your presence. They need to have you captivated. They need to have your mind working on them. I'm telling you, these people, they know how to captivate your mind. And you can't let them. They're conditioning you. They're training you to live at their evil, dysfunctional level of relationship. And it's not healthy and it's not right. And it's definitely not monogamous. I can assure you there's more going on than you're aware of. Open your eyes. You can tell a tree by its fruit, and a lot of these people don't even know that you can tell. They're so ignorant and blinded by their evil, they don't even know you can tell. Come on, please. God hasn't given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. God hasn't given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. If you've got any doubts, it's time to walk up and confront the issue as wisely and as carefully as you can. And if in any way you look like you're going to get the blame, that's it. You're being betrayed. You've been betrayed. You've been perpetrated as the one doing wrong. They're not with you. They're not on your side. They're an enemy. They're not an ally. They couldn't balance out the reality of what the fucking problem was. Can't you see? Which indicates if things get real serious, that person's not going to stand for you. They're not with you. They're in bed with you, but so was Delilah with Samson. Right? Open your eyes, please. This is Reverend Dr. Jason W. Morrison, theologist, New South Wales, Australia. Bye for now.